poppin', guys? Welcome once again to another Rainbow Six Siege video. Today this video is going to be a little bit different. In the background there you'll see a little bit of gameplay here and there, but today I want to discuss the struggles of a newcomer to the game of Rainbow Six Siege and what to expect if you've never touched the game before. Now, before I started playing Rainbow Six Siege, the only first-person shooters that I've really played were Call of Duty, all that. But let me tell you that Rainbow Six Siege is just a different kind of animal. I got the game in April. I've never touched it before on console. I built my computer because of COVID. I was stuck at home, built a computer, and one of the games that I did pick up was Rainbow Six Siege. Now, I am enjoying the game, don't get me wrong. It's a blast, it's fun. But believe me when I say that the game does come with its struggle, especially for somebody that's never played the game before. Now, to help me make my case, look at the two graphs that's on the screen right now. The graph on the left is from Year 1, Season 1, and the graph on the right is from July of this year, so Year 5, Season 3. The graph on the left is more spread out. You can see that there's not much of a trough in the middle of the graph, which means that there's an even distribution of players amongst individuals that have been playing ranked. Now, if you turn your attention to the graph to the right, there's a bigger wave in the middle, which means for you statistics folks out there, there has been a regression to the mean. So what that means for people like you and I who just picked up the game, there are people that are going to be significantly better than us because they have been playing since the game came out, with a 5-year difference and 5-year advantage over us. Obviously, people get better over time, so people that were average back then, who knows, they could probably be in Diamond, they could be in Champion. Just know what that graph signifies is that there's going to be a skill gap between people that had the game back then compared to us people that are just getting it right now. Moving on to the second struggle that I'm going to kind of touch up on here a little bit that I've experienced myself is the fact that Rainbow Six Siege simply just has a very steep learning curve, and that you understand that there's a lot of information that you have to retain as an individual that wants to be competitive in the game of Siege. Now, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of the details of what I mean by the steep learning curve. This is something that you guys want me to discuss. Let me know in the comment section below, because that in itself can be a video on its own. For now, just know that I've had a very, very hard time trying to absorb all the information that I need to be competitive in the game. Now, the third thing that I've been really struggling with here in the game of Siege are Smurfs. We all know it, we all get it, we've been there, done that. I'm not going to go into the details of it because Get Flanked just made a video on it and the state of Smurfs in the game of Siege. He obviously has more credibility than I do. He's been playing the game for a long time now, and he's pretty well known in the community. The reason why it's been a struggle for me is because, let's be honest here, when you load into a ranked game, you start looking at the names and you see a level 50 there. You see a level 50 there and it can go one or two ways. One, it can be the fact that this person is a genuine 50 and learning the game of Siege, or it could be a Smurf, a champion who's dropped down and playing on his second or third, fourth account, and you know that your cheeks are getting clapped. And let's be honest, it's more the latter than it is the former. Look, I don't have any issues with anybody that has Smurf accounts. I eventually will have one too down the road, but right now when I'm trying to learn the game, it's very difficult to assess how well I'm doing or if I'm improving playing against people that are significantly skilled, significantly better than I am. I just get clapped 10 times out of 10. Now, Meeks, you know, you're gonna get better if you play against better competition. But the whole point of ranked is to play against people with the same skill base as you. It defeats the purpose of ranked if I'm playing against champion who is supposed to be a champion and stay in that rank, who's playing against me who's a genuine silver player. So hopefully it gets addressed sooner than later, because as it is, I'm playing ranked and every other game I'm playing against Smurf accounts. Last but definitely not the least is the toxicity in the Siege community. Now, since I've been playing the game since April, it's kind of both sides of the spectrums, and it's both extremes. There's that side of the community that genuinely want to help me out, who give me pointers, who give me tips, who incite a little bit of their knowledge to new people like myself. And then there's the other side. There's the other side of the community where it's just completely toxic. There's no communication. I'm getting team killed. I'm getting verbally abused in chat. I'm verbally getting abused through voice chat. And honestly, for somebody that's new to the game, that's just not a very pleasant experience. It can be borderline traumatic if I'm being honest with you, and that's not me exaggerating. And that kind of affects my game. It affects the way that I perform, because now not only is there added pressure for me to perform in the game, now there's added pressure for me to not get shat on by my teammates because I'm genuinely trying to learn. And I explain this to them. Some people are more receptive to it once they know about it, but 9 times out of 10, I'm either told to get good, I'm either told to quit the game or Alt F4. And I know this is just something that comes with any game, it's just not Siege, but so far Siege is one of those communities that are on very opposite side of the spectrums in terms of how they approach newcomers, or not just newcomers in general, it's just how people play. And I know Ubi does have a system in it where people do get banned for being abusive in chat, abusive in voice chat, but in my opinion, it doesn't fix the problem. I know what I listed off probably just sounds like a bunch of excuses, but honestly, let's not take it away from the fact that I genuinely still have to get better at the game. I feel like a lot of the things that I've mentioned previously in terms of the struggles that I'm experiencing can be alleviated if I can simply just get better at the game. And that's pretty vague. If all you can tell yourself and reflect on yourself is the fact that you get better without a plan, that is a failed plan. That's just a dream. So one of the things that I can definitely improve on, there's 4 things that I want to list, but number 1 on this list is better aim. There's nothing to it, there's no secret to it. If you want to be better at Siege, you have to have good aim. Which also leads me to the second point here, which they kind of are correlated, is mechanics. I have to be able to learn how to lean, I have to be able to quick peek, I have to be able to crouch, lean, shoot, stand up, lean, shoot, and duck and cover again. These are things that I have to learn in order to stay competitive in the game of Siege and eventually progress. And my map knowledge needs to be significantly better than where it's at right now. And understanding that and trying to absorb each map is a task in itself. It takes time. Between now and when I got the game in April, I can confidently say that there are only 2 maps in the game that I'm very comfortable with. One is Canal, and the second one is, I believe, the second one is Oregon. Other than that, and there are still some pieces of that map or places on that map that I'm not familiar with the callouts are. I think that's just going to come with time. All the videos that I've seen talking about that is just that you have to continue to play. If you continue to play, your map knowledge will get better with time, your game sense will improve, and that's what I'm banking on. The last, and definitely not the least on the things that I can improve on, I just need to be a better teammate. It doesn't need to come in the form of me having the most kills on the team. It doesn't have to come in the form of me being the top fragger, because honestly, the game of Siege is not about kills. If you're on the attacking team, the goal of the game is for you to plant a defuse, and if you're on the defending side, the goal of the game is for you to prevent the other team from planting. And if you can do that, I guarantee that you'll win more games. But that's easier said than done, right? There's other things that need to be taken into consideration when you're talking about wins versus losses. But that last point that I mentioned there, I think, is a very, very big part in terms of making your experience in Siege more pleasant. It's just about being a good teammate. It's the classic saying, treat people the way that you want them to treat you. If you have a teammate that's struggling, try to be a little bit more uplifting than toxic or negative. Bring them up, because who knows, next round they might feel encouraged from your words of wisdom or your words of encouragement, and it can totally turn a game around. And it does feel good knowing that your team does have your back, because honestly, Siege, 9 times out of 10, it's usually not the person with the most skill, but it's the team that can execute as one. So that wraps my list of the struggles that I personally experienced in the game of Siege. If you're brand new to the game of Siege, please feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any questions, anything that I could possibly help you out, or anything that you can help me out with. I'll be more than happy to converse with you down in the comment section below. And let's just all uplift one another, because Siege is not going anywhere anytime soon. I believe that they have not peaked. They have continued to stay competitive in the market for a game that's been in cycle for about 5 years now, and there's just more big things coming from them. They do a good job of maintaining the game. They do a good job of adding new content to the game so that it feels fresh every now and then. We saw that with the battle passes this season and the season prior to that. So Siege isn't going anywhere. It's going to continue to be popular in the gaming community. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and take care.
Hey, hit him with the rhythm in the middle of they motherfucking eyes. Ooh, promise I'm not making any record. I'm a break it, really gotta feel the vibe. Huh.